That's great.
Okay, cool.
I
I'm not too tech savvy.
No, you're good. Well, you're an engineer, so yeah, you
I
have good
know.
what do you call it? Problem solving skills.
I usually leave all of the IT work in their apartment to my fiance because he's like way more savvy with it.
Okay. What does oh I already forgot his name. Dang it. Um
Oh, oh,
Phil.
Phil?
Phil,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I got it right.
Yep. There you go.
What does Phil do?
So he was a finance major, so he does some sort of finance. I don't exactly know what he does, to be honest.
Fair.
He deals with like trading and stuff like that.
Okay. Hmm.
So yeah,
Reading.
indeed.
Cool. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't ask that. Um,
Yeah.
Abby, welcome.
Hello. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Yeah,
Good.
pretty good. How are you? You look happy as ever.
Always. Try to be. No, I'm doing good. Just had like went to watch a show yesterday and like I mean Lauren can probably like you both can probably agree like it's the best atmosphere. So whenever you go
Yes.
like whenever you're in a show atmosphere, it's just like I don't know, it's like exhilarating and then you're just like the energy just continues. So that's why I'm like today I'm like, oh, like let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Were you in the Canadian Nationals yesterday?
Yeah. Yeah. So I just went to watch.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. I was following along with I don't know if you know Nicole Volk, I believe her name is.
The name sound is she figure?
Yeah, she's married to Cody Drobot.
Okay.
Oh,
I think I saw photos like with her tag. Did she win her class?
I believe she did. I was kind of curious how it works. So like she won, I think like figure class B. Does that
Okay.
mean you get a pro card? Like how does that work?
No, so at Canadian National, so I think they had like class A, B, C, D. It may have even been went up to F. I can't remember.
Oh wow.
So the class winners will then go on after for the overall. So then they'll battle it out, and they only give out one pro card. So just
Really?
yeah. So
Oh
the
wow.
Canadian shows only do because like I know like North Americans, it's like the class winner, or
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
some of your state shows, it'll be like the top two in each class, like depending on
Yeah.
what show it is. But yeah, for this one, like for all the Canadian pro qualifiers, you have to win the overall.
Oh wow.
It's hard. So it's a little like competitive, and like this show
That's
was
intense.
competitive. Yeah.
Was it
'Cause
a big lineup?
yeah, like so the show in June. So we have a pro qualifier in June, like, and then that's with the Toronto Pro Show as well. That
Okay.
show was pretty like the numbers have been down since COVID, so it was a pretty small show. But like yesterday, I was so surprised. Like there were some big lineups. Like it was awesome to see.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, and like good caliber too. So it was very competitive. Oh
That's
yeah,
really
there's some
cool.
footage.
yep.
Oh wow.
This is I think the winners from each class, right? Class.
Yeah, so they're battling out for the overall right now. Yeah,
Yep.
so my one of my good friends, Dar, she is second from left. I think she was class C, so she won class C maybe.
Okay.
Um, I feel like there might be a girl. I feel like there was five classes, maybe not.
Hmm.
Hmm.
But yeah, they look. They all. I mean, they all looked amazing. It was a
Yeah.
long show too. Like I just went to watch prejudging, and we were there till I think four, almost 4:30, I believe, just
Oh
for
Lord.
Wow.
prejudging. And finals were supposed to start at 4. So
Wow.
it was
And then
definitely
awards after that.
yeah, and then yeah. So it was
Wow.
probably a late one for some of them, especially the bikini girls. But
Mhm.
They do all the divisions in one day for Canadian
yeah,
Nationals? Wow. Because like Universe is the one I did here in the US and they broke it into like I think it was like 4 days. Like I went on a Wednesday and it was like just figure and I think women's physique or something.
yeah.
Wow.
Well, that's like
Wow.
when I was amateur, I did the Arnold amateur, and I did North Americans is where I got my pro card,
Oh,
and
okay.
we split it up really well too. Like, and it's very like I don't know, like they weren't behind it, like because when you're cramming it all into one day, like it's so easy to get behind, like.
Yeah.
So it's a lot, and like for the judges, I'm like these judges, these poor judges, like they barely get a break because when they get behind, it's like their like break time is now gone. So like I'm like, but they love it, so I'm sure
Yeah.
they suck it up and they just
Hmm.
battle through.
Wow. That's wild. All of them in one day. Huh.
Yeah. Well, that was like Ben Weider. It was an amateur pro show. They did all the amateurs and all the pros in one day.
Wow.
Like
that's wild.
That was like the latest start I have ever had competing. Like it was
Oh
crazy.
man. What time did you tan then? Like you're probably holding that tan for a while.
Yeah, like luckily we didn't have the way they did like the base coat like the night before. And then for the pros, I think the men tanned a bit earlier, but we didn't tan till like 1:32.
Oh, okay.
Which was not bad.
That's
Thankfully
pretty
we
good.
didn't
Yeah.
super early. But the pro show was supposed to start at, I believe, 3 p.m. The men, and it was like a one show format where the men were supposed to go prejudge and then final, and then the women pro start. But the men didn't start till I think 6:30.
Wow.
It was like
Wow.
2.5 hours behind. So like I didn't step on stage for prejudge till like I think it was like 8:30.
Wow. That's
and then
wild.
we do routines at like 9:30. It was great, like amazing
That's
show.
insane.
Yeah, like it was awesome that it was such a good turnout, but it should probably be a 2-day show. Like amateur one day, pro the next day, and like men one day, women the next day. And I think that they were talking about doing that for next year because the numbers grew this year compared to last year. So
oh wow.
if it keeps up that rate, like they're gonna have to.
They're gonna have to split it up. Yeah.
Like I think the judges were judging for like 14 hours straight or something like that. 14 or 15. Like I was like, holy crap.
That's why I wonder if it gets to a point they're just like kind of blindly picking. Like
I know, like you'd be so like I feel like you'd be so delusional at the end. Like
I would be, yeah.
and,
Good for them.
oh my
on
god.
their game.
Yeah. But
anyways. At that point they have to really love what they do because
and it was
eye fatigue. Ugh.
Yeah. It was crazy because so Becky Clausen was the head judge and she was so amazing. Like I think the show ended at like because they were kind of speeding it up at the end to kind of finish it. I think it was like 10:30. And she stayed to talk to athletes to give feedback. So like I went up and got feedback and she's like high energy. And I'm like, I don't know how. Like
wow.
You're like, you have a smile on your face, you're staying to talk to all these athletes who want feedback. And I was like, and she was like, I love what I do. Like she's like, I like just like my energy just like comes from the love and passion I have for this. And I was like, that's amazing to hear. So
that's awesome.
That was pretty awesome.
We need more people like that in the industry.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Abby, so what have you been up to? We haven't talked in it's got to be a few weeks.
Yeah, it's been a bit. I know. I see you got like a nice new backdrop.
These are handcrafted 4
cool.
feet by 8 feet panels I put together.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
So it goes all the way to the ceiling. It's took me a long time, but I got to figure out the lighting still because I'm super washed out. But I got to figure that. Besides that, I think I really like it.
Is that for like the acoustics? Those
yeah.
Cool.
So these are like
nice.
I think they're called like 2-inch foam pads.
Okay.
So now what I have behind me, I'm going to duplicate in front of me, and I'm going to make a wall with a door on it, and then it'll be all enclosed.
Cool.
Yep.
Nice.
And then I'll upgrade to like a nice like Joe Rogan Shure mic or something.
There you go.
I already have it in my Amazon shopping cart. I'm waiting to indulge myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was fun putting it together. I was looking at like the prefabbed ones, and they were like several $1,000s. And I was like, I could do this a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. But how's school, Abby? What have you been up to?
It's good. So yeah, like definitely keeping busy. So we did the Ben Weider. School's awesome. It was definitely like this. I've done multiple shows where like I like exam weeks have like landed going into shows, but this one was like a whole new challenge. I had to push myself a little bit harder just to kind of like get ready for this show because I kind of wanted to just jump in and do like one more before the O just to keep the momentum going. And I love to compete, so I was like, we'll have some fun.
Yeah, when I saw you posted, I was like, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we kind of kept it a little quiet until the like scorecards were released, but no, it was a really fun journey, and I love it because it just kind of like you guys will probably agree, it kind of just gives you something like to work towards. And like, I mean, every day, like it's a lifestyle and like you do it, but it's just fun to have like a chat, like something like to like work towards with like an end date. So it's awesome. So, but I did not realize like when I planned to do it, like my school scat, like I had like, I think 6 exams land like peak week. And I've done exams. Yeah. I've done exams before shows before. Like I've done like my pro debut, like I had a couple exams land, like I think I had like 3 exams like the Friday and then we competed Sunday, something like that. But it was also the beginning of my like schooling. And so like the classes were a little bit not as, I guess, demanding or difficult, if that makes sense. Whereas now we're kind of getting into like a little bit more like a little bit more challenging material. And I was like, oh my gosh, I saw the schedule and I was like, this is going to be fun. But I was like, I'm up for the challenge. And it was funny because one of my last exam, I had a few throughout the week. We got through them. And the last one was Thursday, and I had to write it in a hotel room because I think we started driving up. It was the Wednesday night we drove up to Pennsylvania, stayed in the hotel room, woke up, wrote an exam like over Zoom, like to make sure you're not like cheating or anything. And then immediately when that was done, let's like pack up and then drove the rest of the way to Virginia. So it was kind of like one thing at a time. And it's almost kind of nice because then you're not over like thinking or over like analyzing the show day. It's like, okay, I have this to get done, check it off, move on to the next. And it's just like one thing after another. But the stress, like, I mean, like you guys probably like understand like how important like that final week is to like keep like stress low. So I think that's like, that was the biggest challenge, was just like trying to keep like everything like as calm as possible, just so my body wasn't like, oh, like what the heck's going on. But overall, like it was probably the most fulfilling like prep, I think, just because of all the challenges and like pushing like I think harder than I've done before. The only thing I think that wasn't like 100% on point was sleep, which I like is super important. Like there was like, in order to kind of get everything done, it was like something had to like give time wise, which sucks, but it sucks when you can't like, it's like one factor that like isn't 100%, but
yeah,
you do what you got to do and get through it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know how you balance that. Like I'm thinking back to when I was in grad school, I would have never been able to compete whatsoever. I didn't start competing till after grad school.
Okay.
I would have never been able to.
It's
good for you.
Like you understand, because are you an engineer? Did I see that?
Yeah.
Nice. That's a freaking demanding. My brother graduated last April for civil engineer, and like,
okay.
So I know like it's engineering's that's a demanding, tough program to get through.
Yeah, it definitely was. And plus I would like to not, if I was like studying, I was like, having snacks, like I would never be able to diet. Like good for you.
That's the hard part, because like when you're like stressed and like studying, like you like, that's the thing, is like you want that like little like snack to like
yeah, you want something.
Yeah, so like my brain, like sometimes I'm like, that was the hard part, was like I think the challenge was like I got through all my exams and they went fine, but I was like, it was the sitting down and like trying to focus, like especially like when you're like brain fogged a bit, and it's like actually just sitting down and like focusing on the school too, like switching off like prepping for the show and like training and getting all like meal prep everything and switching that off and like focusing on school, which is I also need to put effort into, obviously, but
right.
So like that was, yeah, it's an interesting challenge, but
that's impressive. Wow. so that show you just did, I was meaning to ask you, so it was called like Ben Weider Natural, right?
Yeah, so it's
a tested pro show.
Yes, so it's the only tested pro show I think that they have, and they just brought that, this was the 3rd year I believe they had it. So the first year it was in Montreal, and then they moved it to Virginia last year. I think maybe like, so the promoters are Gary Udit and then Ron Hash. So Ron's Canadian and then Gary's American. So it started in Montreal, and Ben Weider was Canadian. So I think that was kind of the reasoning. I don't know if they switched it to Virginia, maybe because of COVID, because Canada had higher restrictions.
Mm.
And then maybe they realized the turnout was better in Virginia and they kept it this year. I don't know if they're going to start flip-flopping back and forth between Canada and the US, but the venue in Virginia was beautiful. It was the production was really well done. Besides the like super long show and like the delay and the fact that they probably should split into a 2-day event, it was really well run, and the stage was beautifully set up and everything. But yeah, but the only test, so it's a tested show, but they only test so for the amateurs, they test the overall winners, so the people who get the pro card.
Okay.
And then for the pros, they only test the winner. So the ones who win and qualify.
Oh, wow.
They get tested. I don't know. Maybe they do some random selection too, but I think because it's expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I love the idea of like a natural pro show, and it's nice that it gives the athletes who like want to stay natural or like who want to compete naturally kind of just like something a little bit more, I guess you could say, fair. But I feel like if they don't test everyone, it is kind of, it's not like to the point where like people could cheat the system, you know what I mean? Which morally
that'd be pretty shitty.
Exactly. Like, so
they do.
And you hear rumors of, like, people like who do that, and because we have a natural pro qualifier in Canada too. So
really?
For people to turn pro, and then the Ben Weider is an amateur natural pro qualifier as well. So there's two natural pro qualifiers that I'm aware of, anyways.
I didn't know of any of this. This is very interesting.
Yeah, which is cool.
That's great.
So, but
especially for like young guys and gals who like, you know, they want to be competitive, but like don't want to obviously take certain risks. Like that's a great thing that they do that.
No, 100%. Like, yeah, exactly. Like what you said, like with young people, like who like maybe in the future they want to cross over, but like just start out. I think it's a good way to just kind of promote, like, you can start putting in the work and the time now and like be competitive. You know what I mean? So it's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, it gives so my goal is I'd like to turn pro on the natural leagues and then convert to NPC and then compete from NPC, and then, you know, who knows, you know, I don't have any illusions of grandeur, but it still would be fun. But yeah, there's I think there's a few shows actually that are natural pro qualifiers, but I just don't know if they're in the US, but I've seen a few.
Yeah, so you actually technically are like either NPC or CPA, so depending you're Canadian or American, and you can compete at the natural show. So how it works is Canada, I think, has a lot more natural regional shows. So we have kind of like, I feel like it's kind of like a 2-to-1 ratio between like open and like natural regional shows. So if you want to do the natural pro qualifier, you have to do a natural regional show to qualify you, but you're still considered CPA, or like in the States would be NPC. And then if you open, so like when I was amateur, like I did both streams. So like I did a regional show naturally and open to qualify me for both open pro quals and natural pro quals, so I could just compete in more shows. But yeah, like, so like for you, I just don't know how many, if there's regional shows in the States that are natural, but like you could do one in Canada and then go compete at the Ben Weider in the States at the natural pro qualifier.
No, there are. I've seen a few. It was promoted as like a natural regional NPC show.
Nice. Yeah. So then that would qualify you for, it wouldn't qualify you for any like Universe or North Americans that are open pro quals, but it would qualify you for the Ben Weider. Yeah.
So at the Ben Weider, that was a pro qualifying event. Like they gave out pro cards and stuff.
Yeah. So the morning
the
morning was like the amateur portion. So the winners got pro cards. And then, and it was pretty cool too, because some of the pro card winners who competed literally that morning stepped on the pro stage a few hours later and did their pro debut,
awesome.
Which was cool. Really and cool. Like, I think the physique pro card winner, I think she ended up like 3rd for her pro debut.
Wow.
Which was pretty cool. And I think same with the bikini pro card winner. I don't know if she got top 3 or top 5, but she placed really well. So it's kind of cool to see that. Like,
that is cool.
For them, but like pretty awesome.
Yeah. A lot of people put they put like halters on their ability to compete because they're either natural or open. And I think it's nice too. You know, I think Abby speaks a lot by her career that you can do whatever you want. You just need to put the right mindset into it.
For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I know a lot of like young guys in my gym that are like, they want to compete, but they're like, oh, well, I have to like hop on cycle. And I'm like, just try it out natural first. Like, you don't have to commit
Get
to
your feet wet.
anything, you know? Yeah. You can compete natural forever, you know? You don't need to dabble.
Exactly.
You don't want to.
And you can do really well too. And I think it's good to like, especially for like these young kids, like it's good to stay natural for a bit and like let your your body like develop a bit,
Yeah.
mature and just learn to like put in some work and time, and like eventually it'll come. But like our generation, like I feel like we're like immediate gratification. Like we want things now. We want to like win now. But like there's also some vets who've literally been competing for like a decade or two.
Mm-hmm.
And like they're just like I know people who like have been competing for like 20 plus years, and they finally get their pro card, and it's like, no, that has been some time and work put in to get to where they are. It's crazy. So the timing will happen when it happens, and it's just keep working.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
There are a couple topics I wanted to touch on, but I wanted to throw it out there. Were you ladies looking at any shows coming up soon that you're excited for? I know there's a few women's divisions today for the Legion, and then also the the Tsunami Pro or the Tsunami Cup?
Where is that one?
It's a European show. I thought it was in Italy. I haven't looked at it too much.
Oh, okay.
But in the men's open bodybuilding, James Hollingshead is doing that show. So that's a big name.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think Mark Hector might be doing it. So it's kind of like all the guys that have been doing that European tour, a good majority of them are hopping into that show.
Oh, wow. And that's this weekend?
That I believe it's today, as well as the Legion sport.
The Legion, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Because the rumor was some of the people that are on the scorecard for Legion are also saying that they're going to immediately fly out to the Tsunami, which I don't know how that would work with the time zones, because I don't know how you can go from Nevada to Italy in the same day.
That was a long flight.
Yeah, because Jamie Christian is on both scorecards. So
really, and your body reacting to the flight, like, because that's a long flight.
Long flight.
It's like over 10 hours, right?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I don't.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that one, but Legions I'm excited for, because the fitness girls are like, I'm excited for them, and then a friend like Emily, like fellow Canadian wellness.
Okay.
She's competing. And I'm excited for her because I think she's sitting in, I want to say 4th right now for points towards the Olympia, because she's done a few shows this year, and she looks insane right now. So I'm really excited to see how she does. And
Gowley, right?
What's that?
Gowley?
Yeah. Her and her husband are both competing. So he'll be in open, and then she's in wellness.
Yeah, she's a freak in the best way.
Emily, yeah. She looks insane right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, these wellness ladies, it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, I mean, it does. If you're training glutes primarily, like if that's the goal, it makes sense. But good God, like,
wow.
I know, like the legs on her, like I'm like, holy.
It's legitimately a horse.
The glutes.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen those TikTok? I know Loren doesn't watch a lot of TikToks, but have you ever seen the TikToks where it's like, whose horse is that? No. Oh, I'm sure the viewers will get a chuckle out of me trying to say that. But
that's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Wow. She looks phenomenal. So I'm rooting for her, and I really hope that she can walk away with a win, or at least some points that'll secure her spot towards the O, because like she definitely deserves to be there.
Yeah, she looks incredible. Her calves are freaking jacked.
Yeah. I know, I'm jealous of the calves.
That's awesome. I have no calves. I have terrible leg genetics.
Yeah, well, that was your goal this offseason, was working on the calves. So
yes, I aspire to have some sort of calves by next year.
It's such a hard one to develop. Like,
yeah, I find the Stairmaster kind of helps actually. Like 2 hours on the Stairmaster during prep, I finally get a good calf pump going.
I'm sure.
Besides Emily, any other names jump out?
I'm not too familiar with a lot of the.
This is wellness. I don't know much about wellness at all.
No. I feel like I've heard the name Frida. I'm not like 100% like I've heard the name before. But I'm not too familiar with the competitors in wellness to like be able to see like what kind of competition.
Well, she looks really good.
Yeah, she's got great glutes too.
She looks great.
Yeah, she looks good too. Maybe that's why I know the name.
Yeah. Yeah, she looks awesome.
Wow. I mean,
so do you know about like wellness as far as like what level of conditioning are they supposed to bring? Because I get confused between like wellness and bikini and like what the conditioning should be like. And
yeah, I feel like there's still, like I feel like they're almost still trying to figure out like a set like standard. And I feel like after like a few years, because wellness, I think it was wellness's first year at the Olympia last year. This will only be the second year of wellness. Yep. I feel like after like 2 or 3 years, once like we kind of see a consistent like either winner or like what they're looking for, it'll help differentiate. I also feel like they might start going to like, I don't want to say softer bikini because everyone just keeps getting like harder and leaner. But I feel like maybe they'll start to like separate the two in terms of like wellness. They want like hard, like really, really like big like legs and glutes. Whereas bikini, like kind of like on like the smaller side, maybe a tad bit softer. But it's tough because like some of the girls do look like they could be either or. So I feel like size in the legs might be like the biggest contributor.
Okay. Yeah, I was at a local show yesterday and I really couldn't tell the difference for a lot of the competitors between like the bikini and wellness. It was very close, similar look.
I agree. Like regional shows, I have a hard time, and I don't know if it's because these bikini girls are kind of just crossing over to wellness and they still need time to build a bit more. I don't know if that's it, but I find wellness, like some of the girls do still look bikini.
Definitely. Yeah, at the local level, absolutely.
Yeah. At the pro level, at the Olympia level, I'm like, okay, I can see the difference. Like these girls legs are actually insane. Like, how is this even possible? Like
it's like men's open legs with like a figure upper body. It's wild.
I agree. It's insane. Like I can't even imagine. Yeah. Like
but yet they still have the really tight waist. I'm like, how do you get such big legs and your waist is so small?
I'm like, because you're pushing, you must be like pushing some decently heavy weight. Like, obviously, time under tension, yes, too. But like, I'm like, if you're pushing heavy weight, like, how are you keeping your waist so tight? Like, how are you not overdeveloping the weight? Like, that's my biggest issue. Like, I have a wide waist to begin with, so it's like I gotta be careful. Yeah, like I was a gymnast, and like I have a really small torso, so like I have overdeveloped obliques to begin with. So like I don't do any type of like oblique core like twisting exercises at all. My coach is
that's kind of like Ariel. Her physique is awesome, but you can tell she has like more of a gymnast build, like a little bit of a thicker like midsection kind of.
Like from the back, I'm fine. Like it's not super noticeable, but it's my front pose. It's like that like blocky like those TV. So it's like trying to like keep that as tight as possible while like putting on mass. That's like where I'm at right now, which it'll come with time. Like I need more muscle maturity, like, and just more time, like, and it'll come. But it just sucks because like I love to lift heavy, and like my coach is like, no heavy deadlifts, like no rack pull stuff like that. I'm like, oh, I love deadlifts, but
what do you deadlift like number wise? I'm curious.
Years ago, like I don't do 1RMs or anything like that anymore, but I've done 315 before. I've done like recently I got a little bit in trouble for my coach, but after my pro debut, I had like a few months before my next show. I think it was 295 for 5 reps.
Oh, wow.
But then I was
awesome.
Like, but we're not allowed to do that anymore. So,
okay.
Like one or the other.
I thought that was funny. Abby's like, my coach tells me not to do it anymore. And then Lauren's immediately like, what's your max, bro?
Yeah, tell me your max.
Uh,
My
know.
max is like, I think the most I've deadlifted is like 275. Like, I'm not strong at all.
Like
For one rep.
But that's the thing with bodybuilding. I think people who don't understand the sport, they're like, you probably always get the question like, what is your max? Like,
Yes.
like blah, blah, blah. But like I never train maxes. Like it's been years. Like I kind of wish part of me like started out in powerlifting or kind of like dabbled in that a bit because I feel like that would be fun. But it's more like it's an aesthetic sport and it's about building, and you're not gonna build off of doing like 1RMs all the time. Like, yeah, you gotta lift heavy like and be strategic, but it's the time under tension and proper mechanics of the lift and just stimulating the muscle in different ways. So yeah.
Yeah, I never go less than like 8 reps probably.
Yeah, I'm probably the same. Yeah. Maybe the odd time 6, but it'll probably be followed by like a drop set or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
But yeah.
I actually just did my 1MRs to yesterday on like 4 different lifts because I wanted to get a new baseline for everything. So I did everything for triples, and then I built up to 1RMs on front squats, power cleans, push presses, and bench press.
Nice.
So that was fun.
Like Olympic lifting is a fun thing.
Well, I've been doing CrossFit like 3 times a week right now, and that has just been such a murder session. And it's been helping with like recovery and healing. And which is surprising. You'd think with CrossFit you're going to destroy yourself, but the coaches have been really good with me, and like I've been telling them like, hey, I'm not trying to ego anything. I'm just trying to use this as a insane cardio, and then also just get back to the basics, mobility. It's been great.
Functional training too, like being able to move the body, and honestly, the endurance is probably going to help you in the gym because then you're going to be able to train harder and not fatigue as quick. So yeah.
And it's helped me because like I think I've talked with Loren a little bit, like how I just kind of like lost that motivation to train hard. So I took a few weeks off, and then that's actually what got me back into it, was chasing after these Olympic lifts and learning it, the competitiveness of being in those classes with people of like such variety of different backgrounds and experiences with fitness. I'm always like the biggest, tallest, jackedest person there, which is surprising because I'm not very jacked. But there's people half my size doing the same weight, and it's really impressive to see people just snatch, just to throw weight around like that. It's very impressive.
That's cool. I remember telling you last time, I like cannot do Olympic lifts. I don't know why. The body mechanics are just not there for me.
They're very technical, like
technically big. And you have so much muscle built onto that frame. I mean, you're gonna have to like retrain all that muscle. It's a lot of work.
I do not train for functionality really at all, which probably is a bad thing. But I mean, I'm still pretty tiny. Like I probably could do a little CrossFit. I only weigh like 127 now. So
that's one of my legs.
Yeah. Abby, what is like your stage weight roughly around?
So this past show, I weighed myself the morning prior. So I didn't weigh myself morning of, so I forgot my scale. And I was 120.5.
Oh, okay. So our stage weight's like the same.
Okay. My pro debut, which was my leanest, I got down to probably, again, didn't weigh myself show day. It was like 2 days out. I was like 117, 118, which is more like when I bring like the conditioning I know I can bring, I'm probably closer to that. So yeah. So for the Olympia, like we're probably going to aim for like 118 at least.
Okay.
Like that's probably.
Wow. Our stage weights are like literally the same. Like I'm between usually 117 and like 121 on show day usually.
Nice. How tall are you?
5'2".
Me too.
Really?
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow.
Awesome.
So when you like are going into, you probably explained this before on the podcast, but when you're going into prep, like how do you structure your cardio sessions with your fitness routine?
Yeah, so it definitely adds a little bit more. I do weights 5 times a week. So I'll do like 5 days of weights, and then cardio is usually like 6 days a week. Like I'll usually try and take like a full day of rest, or like I'll go in and just do routine work. But the other two, yeah, so 5 days of weight. So I'll usually train like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then like Thursday will be like a routine practice. So it'll just be cardio routine practice that day. Friday, Saturday weights, and then Sunday, if I'm feeling okay, I'll do like another. I'll usually try and do 2 routine practices a week. Right now, like for this last show, it varied between 1 to 2 times a week because I've already gotten the conditioning for like the routine pretty like built up well, just because I've done like multiple shows so far this year. So just for injury purposes and kind of just like allow my body to recover a bit more, it's been kind of like 1, and then I might just throw some skills in like after like a weight training session or something like that. But yeah, so it's just like the days I don't train weights, like I'll usually go in and hit a hard routine session.
Oh, wow. So in the routine, like how often do you practice like the tumbling aspect?
Yeah, so I try to limit like the full tumbling sometimes. So like routine practices, like lately, like we'll do like 1 full run through, and then I'll usually like maybe do like 2 of each half, but then I'll take out like some of the harder tumbling that's a little bit harder on my joints just to
Okay.
like save the body.
Yeah.
Or some days like I'll do full routine run throughs, but I'll take out like the tumbling, like where like I'm running into the tumbling, I'll just take that out and I'll just do like a sprint. And if I want some extra cardio, I'll do the routine, and then I'll do like some like shuttle runs after just to like get that extra cardio. And then I also practice on my gym has like a massive like turf strip. So that's what I
okay.
practice on.
Wow.
Which is a little scratchy, but it's nice.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's a little scratchy at times, but for the most part, it's fine. But it gives like that like little extra like cushion. It's not much cushion, but it's a little bit extra compared to like a rock hard floor.
Sure.
And I honestly haven't I'm knock on wood lucky, like injury wise, like stayed pretty healthy. And I think honestly just the consistency and like obviously like clean eating for so many shows, like that plays a good role on the joints too. Because I'm sure like like I don't know from like about you, but like if I have like a cheat meal or something, or like in the off season, like my joints are usually more sore.
Yeah.
If I have a little bit more sugar or
Yeah,
something like that.
definitely.
So yeah, it's just trying to keep up with recovery, and I think the cardio helps too and whatnot.
Wow. That's interesting. So in your tumbling, like what skills do you do as far, so I was a really bad gymnast in high school.
You were
So
a gymnast?
I'm very not good. I was on like the gymnastics team, but like the extent of my skills was like a round off, back handspring, back tuck. Like that was it. That's all I got.
No, I'm like,
And it was shaky. It was not good. So I'm curious, like what in your tumbling, like what are your like passes typically?
So for my routine, like I've kept it pretty simple. Like I try to keep it not too complex because like I want something I know I can do like in my sleep, and like something like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, just to prevent injuries and that sort of thing. So I've done like the last couple routines. I've done like a round up back handspring back tuck.
Okay.
I think for the Olympia we might try and up that just because I know not you don't need tumbling in your routine, but it does look
Looks cool.
it looks cool.
But you're not judged on it, right? It's more those like static skills.
Yeah, you're literally the only like you're judged for basically like all around entertainment, endurance, strength, flexibility. Those are kind of like the components they look for. But skill wise, all you need is a push up, a high kick, a straddle hold, and the splits. That's literally it. You have 4 skills you have to hit. Besides that, you can do whatever you want. So it's kind of cool because people come from different backgrounds and bring different styles of routines. So it's pretty cool. But being an ex-gymnast, a lot of the ex-gymnasts will add a lot of tumbling just because it does add that like powerful wow factor. It makes the routine like, I don't know, more explosive and eye-catching. So I think for the Olympia, like my tumbling line, I might try and do something I haven't decided quite yet, but something with more of like a straight body flip, just because it's gonna look more, instead of like a tight little ball, it's gonna look a little bit more.
Besides, probably got like a layout or something.
Yeah, like a layout step
That's
out.
Cool.
Something.
That's
we'll
awesome.
play around with it, but besides that, like I'll usually just do like one of my like more difficult skills is I'll do like a standing layout step out, which is a hard skill, but it's not. It's nice because the impact on the body isn't crazy. Like if as long as I'm not under rotating.
Really? I feel like it would be like rough on the knees when you land.
Okay. If you land a little, like as long as like I over rotate, it feels smooth, and as long as like I'm lighter, like it's not that bad. There are times, especially like leading up to a show, where I'm tired and like my power is lacking a bit, like lack of carbs is gonna do that. It is a little bit harder, and sometimes I will land short and it's a little bit rougher on the ankle and knee. But I do put it at the beginning of my routine, so I'm like the most like fresh.
Okay, that makes sense.
So strategically placing things, but yeah, that's the hard. Like the hard part is keeping the high energy, and I think that's why like the endurance for the routine is so important. Because I like as an amateur, like I'm not gonna lie, there was times where like I would throw a routine together, like choreograph like 4 weeks out, and like
oh wow,
and like definitely was not practicing the full out thing enough leading up, and you'd walk off stage like I'd be like gasping for air, like lactic acid in my legs. I'm like barely getting through the routine. And even my pro debut, like I put a lot of like conditioning into leading up to that show, but I still walked off with like I like was running off stage. I'm like, I can't feel my legs. They're just like full lactic acid.
Wow.
So after that show, I was like, no, like we're gonna like beat the crap out of this routine and like get the endurance crazy. And every show since that, like I'm running off and I'm like, I could like not do the whole thing again, but like I've got energy to like I can breathe and like my legs feel good. And so that's kind of like what I want to bring every time, because it's just you have more confidence in yourself too, that you're going to be able to maintain that power and endurance. And that is definitely one of my strengths, is like the speed and power like throughout, because a lot of times you'll see girls, they have a great powerful routine to start, and then it like you can noticeably see when they fade. So like my goal for myself is to not let that fade be evident. Like I want to be like powerful and eye catching and like maintain that power throughout, which is, it is tough to do, but if you can differentiate yourself in any way, like why not? So
I can't even imagine like going through just like quarter turns. I find it hard to keep poise and like smile. It's like a whole routine. And then plus you have to do quarter turns too, right?
Yes, yeah. But so, honestly,
that's wild.
Tough too. Like, especially like I feel like for figure, it's like for fitness, like the shows I've done, at least like Ben Weider was the biggest show we did, and there was 10 of us.
Oh wow.
I know like some figure shows, like you guys have crazy lineups and they're making you hold for like you're up there forever holding poses, and like that's hard. Like I don't think like people don't understand like how hard posing is at that, like especially at like the level we're at, and like you're like depleting, and like obviously yeah, like you carb up, but like still like to hold that and be able to control your stomach, you can't really like you can't breathe through your stomach, you got to breathe through like your chest.
Yeah,
and like
I gotta work on like stomach control on my like side pose. I want to be able to like keep the abs like fully hit the whole time, but it's so hard.
It like posing, yeah, people don't understand like because and people make it look easy, like they're up there freaking holding it and it's like
yeah,
beautiful and poised. And like I try to explain to people who like don't understand the sport, I'm like, you have no idea like how hard it is to go up and do that and look confident and like look like it's like effortless, like it's not, like it's not at all. So
I find one of the hardest things is like transitioning through poses. Some girls, they look so natural and like flowing. I'm like trying to look like that, but I probably look very awkward.
Oh man, when I first like put heels on, like my coach still makes fun of me to this day, because like I could not walk in heels for the life of me. Like it was so I wish I had it on camera to like just like show the difference. It like it's like that, even that alone is like hard. Like
yeah.
And those are like crazy heels, right? They're you don't wear stuff like that around.
They're typically like the ones I have. I think are like
maybe
five
Loren
and a
does,
half.
but
Yeah,
On occasion. No, not really. Yeah, I think they're like 5.5 inches. The ones they're like standard. I think typical ones. But I remember I got a posing coach last season for the Atlantic State show I did. And she's a women's physique Olympian, and she was like, okay, let's practice just for an hour, like you walking in the heels and trying to like look like elegant. And I was like, I don't know how.
I don't know
probably
how.
like, you look terrible.
I know, it's crazy because like we're like these like, I don't want to use the term like meathead, but like we literally like we go to the gym and like, you know what I mean, and then like it's like we gotta like be like elegant and like graceful, and it's the opposite when you're in the gym. Like you're not elegant and graceful when you're training. Like so
Hell no.
But it's kind of cool to have like, it's kind of cool to be able to show that and show that like bodybuilding isn't just like this, like, you know what I mean? Like there's like like you can be feminine and like, I don't know.
That's what I love about like the figure and the fitness division. I kind of pair them as like it's the same physique, but just like the fitness girls have like separate talents as well. But it's like kind of the same thing.
Like we're kind of going towards like, the same look.
Yeah, and the femininity, I do like that. Like I like that we still have to wear the heels and stuff. I know some people go, oh, it's kind of like sexist, like you have to wear heels on stage, but I like the heels. I think it looks nice.
I do too, and it almost like completes the full package, and it's fun. It's fun to like pampering yourself, and you get like fully glammed up, and like you're just like you look your best, and now like you like you feel your best. It's like that whole package that you bring, and it's just cool to kind of see everything come together. Like
definitely.
It's awesome, and it's fun too, so
totally agree.
I just thought of something. We were talking about, you know, people transitioning their transitions, practicing posing. I've never seen a female competitor on stage sweat. You know, like when the dudes are there and like sometimes look at that crazy bead going down the front. I've never seen a female competitor sweat that hard. Is that what is that?
I actually backstage at the Universe after prejudging, this one figure girl came off and she had like that going on.
Really?
And she was freaking out. She was like having the tanning people like they're like, please fix it. Like she was very upset. I don't know if she had like a weird kind of tan on. Maybe it wasn't like pro tan. I don't know, but a lot of the women typically are not drenched in sweat.
No, like I've seen it the odd time, but I feel like it's also been shows where like it's like super intense lights and it's like warm and like maybe they're on stage for a while, but for the most part, yeah, you're right. Like I don't know if it's just because these guys have so much mass and they probably have to like eat so much carbs to get like fill up their muscles, and like if they haven't been used to like eating like as many carbs, like I don't know about like you, but like if I have like an excess in carbs, like I get warm, like you get warm.
Definitely.
The metabolism's like in like overdrive. So I don't know, maybe that has like
they're also like probably flexing a lot harder. I mean, women's physique and like women's bodybuilding probably are flexing it at the same capacity, but like figure and finish are probably not like squeezing like as like all of your muscle quite the same. I don't know.
Because like they have more poses and like they're doing like front double bi and like side chest. Like, they just have front side back. Yeah. So it's not like we're sitting there and like we have less poses that they have to like go through for us, less time on stage. So
like, I don't know about you, but like in the quarter turns, like I'm only really like flexing my glutes, quads, and like opening my lats. Like the stomach is pretty relaxed, the arms are kind of relaxed.
It's not like you're like flat, like you're not the entire body. Because even in your back pose, like you don't want to squeeze your glutes too hard either. So you're kind of just pushing your butt back and like spreading the lats. So you're like your shoulders might be a bit activated, but I think the main thing is you're just trying to keep your core as literally as tight as possible and control that.
Yeah, but without flexing it in the front pose. It's very weird.
Exactly. So yeah, it's mainly like I guess your quads and your front pose. I think that's like the hardest one for me is like keeping those as tight as possible and like keeping those hit.
Yeah, definitely. That is, I struggle with that.
Yeah, not letting them like the lines fade, like keeping it tight and not letting it fade. Yeah, that's definitely tough. Because like I don't know about you, but like like I practice posing a good amount, but like even on stage sometimes, like you feel like, I don't know, I don't think it's nerves, because I'm not nervous. I don't know if it's the adrenaline, but like you don't, when I go back and watch videos, I don't look shaky, but like I feel shaky. Like I'm up there and I'm like, feel like my legs are like shaking, but like they're not, but it's a weird feeling.
It is. I remember I came off stage once and my coach like wasn't at the show, and I texted him like, okay, prejudging went well. I like landed in the middle, but I think I was shaking. I think my posing was terrible. And then I went back and looked at the videos and I was like, I was pretty still. So I don't know what was going on.
Yeah, like I don't know what that is. It's weird.
It is odd.
Yeah.
It must be adrenaline or something.
It's gotta be. Like it has to. Interesting. But yeah, I was always curious. It's like, why do I feel so shaky? I never feel like this when I'm practicing, and I'll hold longer sometimes in practices. I'm like, I don't shake like this. Like what is going on? But
yeah,
maybe it's just the adrenaline, and
it's got
extra hard, and I don't know, who knows. But
it's the tan.
Yeah. Oh boy. The extra energy from the food. I don't know. Who knows?
Sodium.
Oh, yeah, the sodium. Oh boy.
So I wanted to name this episode. I wanted it to be like some sort of like foundational essentials episode where we talk about I have like 5 key things I wanted to talk about when once we got through all this stuff, which is great. I love this stuff. This is the meat and potatoes. I thought it'd be interesting for the viewers if we kind of got both of your perspectives on I want to start off with like training variety and consistency, and then also how that pairs with for beginners or anyone, making sure that you're on a proven and well-structured program, something that fits for you. So I just wanted to get you guys' feedback on that, training variety and consistency in finding a good program or the right program.
For sure. I think having a coach, like having somebody, especially if you're a beginner, because when I started out, like I probably wouldn't have known how to train like for my body. And that's the thing, is like everyone's different. So like you need a coach to kind of help guide you, somebody who's like well established in whatever like division you're doing, or maybe you don't know what division your body's meant for, and like that's another great reason to have a coach to kind of like say, okay, your body, like go where you feel like you belong, or like where you strive to look, or like the look that you like, but this category might be best for your body type to be successful or whatever. And then training is kind of dictated off of that. Like a bikini competitor isn't really going to train upper body as much or as hard as like a figure physique competitor, like in terms of like women. So like there's a lot of variety, and it's very based on the individual. And like the example of me, like I stay away from like certain heavy lifts because my waist is already wide, whereas somebody who has like a tiny waist, one of my best friends has a 22-inch waist, so she's got like the perfect structure for figure, like, and wicked back, crazy quads. So she's got a wicked structure for figure, and she can train heavy, and like her waist is still going to be extremely tiny compared to the rest of her body, especially if she's putting on mass. So I think it's very individual based, and it's working to find a program that fits and works for you, to develop your physique the best that it can, I guess. That's like very like generalized kind of approach, but
yeah, I would agree with that. Like when I started lifting, I've like always done my own programming pretty much for the lifting part. And like I think I mentioned on the last conversation we had that I started out wanting to do bikini. So like for 4 weeks going to the show, I just stopped training upper body, and I was like, yeah, that'll be good bikini look. But I just didn't know what I was doing. So I would say, yeah, a coach that like knows the division and can have the foresight to see like, where you would do well, that could be very beneficial. And maybe listening to their cues as far as like the way to train, style of training. And as far as consistency, like I think that's what a lot of people lack. Like they'll like go really hard for a few months and then just like fall off. Like if you want to compete, you kind of gotta be fairly on most of the year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's got to come from within, though. I don't know if that's something you could really, like have a coach help you with. So
you have to look at
it. Yeah.
I think a lot of it's got to be that that drive to want to do it.
Definitely.
But also, something that helps for me is having tangible goals, like real written down things. So if you want to, if your goal is to get on stage, you need to set a date. It doesn't have to be a year out, or it could be something sooner or farther out. But if you have a real date, then Abby's less than 10 weeks?
Just under 10 now, yeah.
Just under 10 weeks. She has a tangible goal, and there's a day where she has to be ready. So all of her program is going to be according to that. So that you could apply that to, someone in high school just getting into weight training. You have football season, or you have, different sporting events, or maybe you want to be, beach body ready for the summer. I don't know, but having a real tangible goal and then being able to, backwards plan. Yeah. Being able to backwards plan off that is also huge. If you don't have that strong internal discipline.
I think that helps definitely with like adherence, especially like that if you have to be like basically naked on a stage and in 10 weeks, like you're going to adhere to the plan. That's for sure.
Yeah. You want to make sure that you're ready. So that you look like you belong and fit in.
Yeah.
Sure. That's a good drive.
That's the way I always look at it. Like when I'm like not feeling too good and proud, I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this cardio, but I have to like basically be naked on a stage. So I'm gonna do the cardio. Yeah.
Like you got to do everything you can to make sure you show up proper.
Yeah.
But no, I love the goal setting thing. And it's like any athlete, like sports too. Like I used to do a lot of performance coach training. Like I did an internship with that, and we would do a lot of like 1 RM testing or 3 RM testing with like Olympic lifts or like bench press, front squat, stuff like that. And like maybe they had a target weight that they wanted to hit at the end of the year. So every month we have a date where like we do the testing, and hopefully like with the periodized structure of their plan, that's what we're working towards, is building strength or power for cleans, whatnot. And you're trying to improve each time. And then maybe if you notice that you're starting to decline, or your performance is kind of suffering, you got to look at other factors like, okay, how is recovery going? Like, are you sleeping enough? Or maybe we're starting to like overtrain to the point where your body isn't recovering enough in between, and maybe we need a deload week, or like to scale back a bit, allow it to recover. And a lot of the times when you do that, then the athlete the next time, their performance is going up again. So it's kind of, I think, keeping track, like whether it's a log or a journal, sometimes can be beneficial, because you can kind of see what was going on in my life at this time that my performance was suffering, or like what was going on as it kept increasing, like what was on point. And we used to do kind of like these health questionnaires with athletes. Sometimes every training session, like, how do you feel today? Like, how was your sleep? How was your eating? Like, blah, 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 blah. Like all those like little factors. Because then you can look back on it and see the correlation between the training and all those other little factors that can contribute to your performance. So that's something I want to do more of. Is I like to journal, but I usually only do it like around like show days. So like I'll journal like leading up to a show, just to kind of like see factors, how I'm feeling, what's going on. And then I'll do like a reflection after, like what went right, what went wrong. This worked for me, this did not work for me, blah, blah, blah. That way you can like look back and kind of see show to show, okay, I'm not going to repeat this because I didn't like how I felt after eating this, or this really helped me with my performance or whatnot. But I think like doing that like consistently, again, it's something to like, you need to make time for it, but it could be beneficial to kind of bring you to 100% always.
That's cool. Probably in like 20 years, you'll like look back at those journals and be like reading them like in pure nostalgia. That's probably cool to have. I'm gonna start doing that.
Yeah, and that's the nice thing too, is you can like look back and it's I don't know, just to kind of see how far you come, like, and like how your mindset's even shifted from like, say like the first show you did compared to like now, and it's like, holy crap, like you've evolved not only physically, but like mentally too, which is kind of a cool thing too. And I think that's what everyone strives for. Like, it's not just the physical involvement, like in this sport, but like we do this because like it's mentally challenging. Like you're pushing yourself to new limits, and it's a fulfilling sport in the fact that like, holy crap, like I did this, like I was able to kind of push through and do what like literally probably 1% of the population can achieve mentally, like
Oh,
dieting
it's
for
got to be less than one.
yeah.
I wonder the statistics on that. Yeah, it's probably
Oh,
very small amount.
we
Because
are a little
I've always heard
Oh
like
yeah, for
for
sure.
dudes, if you can bench, if you can bench your body weight, if you can bench squat your body weight, you deadlift your body weight, and overhead press half your body weight, you're in the top like 5%
yeah,
of
Wow.
the earth or something, which is
Huh.
so
but
actually I guess it's applicable for women as well if it's body weight. But yeah.
Yeah,
interesting.
probably.
But yeah, they
Yeah.
should do the statistic on that.
Yeah. I keep
Like,
seeing that stuff on TikTok where it's like motivational stuff, just to like get you going, get the blood going. And it's always
yeah,
just
no,
like,
yeah,
if you ever, oh God, I saw something the other day and it just like rocked me to the core, and I actually wrote it down.
I gotta start using TikTok. I feel like I can't navigate the app. I feel too old. I get on there, I'm like, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to click. I don't know what's
Mhm.
going on.
It's real quick, the quote was, comparison is the thief of joy.
I love that.
That's good.
It hit me hard because I was like,
I
damn,
like
like
that.
Well, because
it's
you're
all,
taking away like your like it's kind of draining you of energy because you're
yeah,
putting it into something else, kind of comparing, and instead of focusing on you and like because everyone's in different positions, and I think that's one thing with social media that can be a little bit toxic if you get in the mindset if you're comparing and you have no idea this person could be training for 10-15 years and you're in your first year of training and you expect to look like that, like
yeah,
it's not going to happen unless you're a complete genetic freak, but like it
Yeah.
takes time, like people put in like years to like look a certain way or do something, and then plus I mean photos on Instagram aren't always, or like social media aren't always accurate either, so it's like you kind of just got to focus on you and like evolving yourself to the best that you can be each day. And eventually, like, you're going to, like, I mean, you should be proud of yourself throughout the journey, but like, it's not over fixating on where you're not at. And instead
right,
of looking at, like, okay, if I keep doing this every day, this is where I could be. Like, just kind of switching the narrative and being
Yeah, that
happy with where you're
that
at.
like self-talk is like very
Oh,
beneficial.
yeah, it's huge. So, because it sucks when you hear like people like talking down on themselves, or again they get discouraged at a show because they didn't do as well as they thought, and they're like, and it's just like, ah, like just trust your journey. Like if you brought the best that you brought, then like you got to be happy with that. You can't control these
Yeah.
external factors, who comes to the show and whatnot. So um yeah, but it's tough, like it's challenging because everyone wants to like they want to accomplish X, Y, and Z, or they want to be the winner and whatnot. But that's the thing, like especially with bodybuilding, like you get to these like higher level shows and everybody looks good. Like
Yeah.
everyone's gonna bring their best, and it's like so you got to be kind of like satisfied and happy with what you bring, and like what the work that you put in at the end of the day.
Yeah,
So
my goal like every show is to come out of it with a picture where I looked better than last year. That's always the goal. Like
and that's amazing because then yeah, and then yeah, but
yeah, I totally agree. And I think like guys like a lot of the young guys getting into the sport, they see like Chris Bumstead, they're like, oh, that's attainable in like 2 years. Probably not.
no,
So they'll
like
always be dissatisfied, you know?
because yeah, that's somebody who literally like has everything down to the T. Like he like one of the hardest workers, has every factor 100%,
Yeah.
also a genetic freak, and he's been doing it for years. So it's like,
Yeah. He's I think he's like around my age, but I mean, I think he started competing in his like teens or something.
yeah,
So or like around
Mhm.
18. So that's a lot
exactly,
of time.
exactly. So it's not something you can just rush and
Yeah,
expect like that. So, and it kind
for
of like
sure.
takes away like when I look back at it, like it's the work that like makes it. I'm like, you look back and you're like, holy crap! Like, I put in all that work. Like it's more fulfilling, more meaningful that way.
Yeah,
Like if you just
I
love
agree.
it, like I look back, like before you got your pro card, like I don't know, like how, like I think it was my 6th pro qualifier when I got my pro card, and I had
Okay.
gotten so many seconds, like missing it by like one spot, and it's like there was times where like my mindset was not like great, and I was like, you kind of lose your why for the sport, and you're trying to chase this thing that it's like it doesn't define you. Like it's like, why are you competing? It's because you love it. Like it's a self challenge. And I look back and I'm like, if I got it right away, like what would have that meant to me? Like I didn't, yeah, I put it
Yeah.
to get to the stage and get the pro card, but like it's the fact that like you're like you just miss it, and then it's like it sets a fire in you to work harder, and then it's like and you work harder and harder, and you keep putting in that time and effort, and then when your time comes, it's like you look back and it's like, wow, what a journey to get there. And like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That
Like,
must have made it way more special too.
yeah, exactly. And like I remember that competition where I got it, like that was the first show where I was like, okay, like scratch this mindset. Like I'm going in just to have fun. I want to enjoy the whole, like be in the moment, enjoy it, and just do it. Like kind of like compete again because of why I love to compete. Like, you know what I mean? Like not trying to chase. And
Yeah.
as soon as I kind of like shifted that mindset, it's like it came. Like, so I look back, I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like,
That's awesome.
not
Yeah.
stressing about this like little thing, and you just go have fun and do what you love, and then
Pays off.
you're gonna get, you're eventually gonna get rewarded. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. I was glad. So my like first real season, I feel was 2021, because
Okay.
I did a show in 2019, but I didn't, as I said, I didn't train up her body going into it. I didn't really prep. I was eating Quest bars the whole time. Like I don't know what I was doing.
These are good.
So then 2021, I like actually I got with my coach, and we like did a real prep. And so the first 2 shows I did, I won the overall, and one of the judges was like, you got to go do like a national show this year. And then I was like, oh, should I do it? And my coach was like, no, like you got to wait, like give it a year, grow. And I was like, I don't know. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it a year. I took the year. I'm so glad I did, because like what I brought to the national stage like was way more meaningful than if I just like rushed into it like all at once, you know.
Yeah.
So
And
I was glad I took the time.
you also probably like after that show you did, and then you took that year off, you also probably had time to kind of like reflect on that show and kind of let that sink in. And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
time away from stage, like I love to compete. Like I've done a lot of shows in a short amount of time, and I love to compete. But when COVID hit, so after I got my pro card, which was August 2019, I didn't step back on stage till December 2021. So it'd been over 2
Oh,
years.
wow.
But it was probably one of the most beneficial things I could do. Cause like I was also like, I was 21 when I got my pro card. I
Okay.
didn't have the muscle maturity. Like I'm still working on like building that. I still have to build my physique, but
Same.
that 2 years like did wonders. Like you get your metabolism to a healthy spot, and then
Yeah.
maturity. Like,
Probably
so
like your hormones were like nice and stabilized, regulated, like proper
yeah,
body fat percent for a while.
that was
That's
like,
probably good.
it was like the smoothest prep. I think I did a 10-week prep. That was it. That was the shortest prep I've ever done for my pro debut.
Wow.
Because I was already kind of like like having 2 years off, like my body kind of got to a point where it was just kind of healthy, and like it was already generally kind of lean. I probably could have been eating more, but I was able to like eat a good amount leading into my pro debut. I was only
That's
doing
nice.
35 minutes of cardio 6 times a week, and it was the leanest I had ever reached. Like, and I
Wow.
was like, I look back and I'm like, like how was I eating the most and like the least amount of cardio, and I got the like most like peeled I've ever gotten. But that's the thing, is like I was at a
Yeah.
healthy spot, metabolism was built up so we could keep the food high. And then the less amount of like cardio and everything, it's less stress on the body. Like my body was recovering so quickly. So it's just crazy to see like the differences, because like the sport can get crazy. Like right now I'm doing way more cardio and less food than that show, but I've also been doing multiple shows. My metabolism's like, you
Right.
understand, like you've done lots of cardio leading into a show, so
Definitely.
you do what you've got to do, but time away from stage is beneficial to kind of like build that metabolism back up. And
Yeah, I totally agree. Like even going into this year,
Yeah.
I didn't fully recover my metabolism, I don't think, from like the year before.
Yeah.
So I would say we did have to starve a bit more this year, definitely, and more cardio. So
You do
part of
what
the
you
fun.
gotta do as an athlete, but it's like,
Yeah, frustrating, but I guess it's also nice to be able to like, have a good amount of time off. But like you did 2 years, like, and that's awesome. But I feel like you probably don't want to do that again too soon.
no.
Yeah.
Like, I can't take that long away from the stage again. Like, there's no way. But
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
there's time that like that can be beneficial. But like when you love to compete, it's just fun. Like, and it keeps you like again, like keeps you working toward. Like, I mean, yes, in an off season, you're still living the lifestyle. You're still working towards something, but it's nice having something exciting, like Josh said, like a set date to like push
Yes.
yourself to. And yeah, sometimes it sucks when you're doing more cardio or less food than preps prior, but it's also more reward. Like I find it rewarding at the show because it's like, holy crap, like I've pushed harder than I've done before. And like, yeah, maybe it was harder, but like, holy crap, like I did that. Like I was able to like push myself mentally and physically harder than I've done before. And like, I think as an athlete, that's what we like strive to do is just be better, like mental, like physically and mentally. So
Totally agree.
You did mention something, Abby. I thought it was interesting. Um, you said that you competed recently just because you wanted to compete. I think is the way I interpreted it.
yeah,
And in my mind, I always look at competing as wanting to be better than my previous package. Like that's the only thing I worry about. Now, whether if I get a good placing or not isn't usually a concern to me because I can't control that.
for
But I
sure.
thought what you said was interesting.
Yeah, like I definitely one of the reasons was I was like, okay, like I don't have time to like after Vancouver, which was mid-July, I don't have time to take like an off like especially being natural. I don't have time to take an off season. I'm not going to put on size. So my best bet going into the Olympia is like obviously the routine's my strong suit. I want to come in as conditioned as possible. So I was like, this is going to give me one, just something to kind of like another stepping stone, just to kind of keep the momentum going into the O, but also just to kind of keep me like focused, keep me on track, kind of come in leaner than I was at Vancouver, which we did. Like I was probably a good 2 pounds. So even with the stress with the exams, which I think definitely impeded a little bit,
Okay.
I would have liked my stress a little bit lower. I think I could have come in a little bit tighter. But I was 2 pounds lighter compared to Vancouver. Um, and I was definitely brought a better package, which was my goal. But I also just wanted some more feedback from coach, like from the judges. So like just to show my face again and like get more feedback and more practice on stage presenting and more practice like with like the peak leading up to stepping on stage because I haven't like I've done a few pro shows now, but before that as an amateur, they took out the posing round for fitness. So I didn't have as much there wasn't a crazy focus on like I got lean, but it wasn't like we were trying to dial in and like peak. It was more of like I need to be healthy and be able to perform a wicked routine and get as lean as possible at the same time. But the focus was more health and performance. Whereas now as a pro, like it's you got to bring this package and a high energy routine. So I think the reason for me jumping into the Ben Weider was one, I love to compete and I want like I was like I'm already like I just did a show. I'm doing another show. Why not jump in one more in between, get the experience, get more feedback from the judges, um, practice kind of like getting my body like ready for the stage, like that peak week, whatever protocol. And yeah, and it's fun. Like, why not? So
Why not?
keep the momentum just going. So it was good.
What year did you start competing in?
My first show was December 2017.
Oh,
So
okay.
that was my first regional show. And fitness actually still had the posing in that show. And then the year after they called it OPA, it was Ontario Physique Alliance, and then they switched over to the CPA, which more mimicked the MPC kind of standards.
Okay.
So then, yeah, and then 2018, think I competed 4 times, 2 regional shows and 2 pro qualifiers. 2019 was a regional show and 3 pro qualifiers. I can't even remember now. We competed a lot between like end of 2017 and end of 2019. I think it was 9 shows and like 2.5. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot. It was a lot of shows. And then it was the 2.5-year break. And then we've done now 4 pro shows since December 2021 was the first one.
Wow. So you like just keep them rolling. That's wild.
I like to keep them rolling. I do. I love to compete, but
after 2 shows in a year, I'm like, oh, I'm winded. That's too much.
It's definitely, yeah, like after the O, I'll probably definitely need a little bit of a break again to like build the metabolism up a little bit, just like and enjoy life too. Like you know, like it's not, there's not much balance when you're competing.
Yeah, definitely no balance.
Like
a lot of people preach like that they have like a lot of balance competing. I'm not sure how that is the case.
I'm like, I balance school and competing. I think that's the most balance I can get.
Yeah, like, I wouldn't be able to handle any more than that.
I'm like, my sleep is suffering right now. Like, I'm gonna, if anything, like I'm putting my time towards more sleep.
Yeah, as you should. How many hours are you getting?
So my like pro debut and like the first few shows, like I was getting like 7-8 hours. A lot of my classes were online, so like it was nice. This past semester, like it was tough. Like leading up to the Ben Weider, like I would say average 6 hours, but a lot of nights were like 5, which is it's not great. Like
not great.
It's not great.
But your physique like didn't look tired or anything, so
yeah, like
worked out.
It worked out. Like it was fine, but I know, like I'm like, I know that sleep's important. I need to be on that. So we're gonna try and like schedule things a little better. I gotta find a gym a little bit closer to me. Like I think the issue is I'll train twice a day, but the gym I go to is 30 minutes away. So it's like
driving.
Yeah, drive 30 minutes to do cardio, and then I drive to school from there, which is a 30-minute drive, and then I'll come home from school, and then I'll like drive back out. And
it's prime sleeping time.
I know, exactly. So that's 2 hours right there. Like I'm driving 2 hours a day to train.
Yeah,
and that is definitely that'd be 7 hours of sleep right there. Like.
Are you anywhere near like a Pure Muscle and Fitness, or is that far away?
So Pure is about an hour and a half for me. I'm actually like after this, I'm going to train there again today. That gym is unbelievable. Like literally,
so cool.
It's like any bodybuilder's like it's like a playground. Like you feel like a kid on a playground. There's just the variety of equipment and just like like everything is just so high quality. The mechanics. The activation you get, oh my gosh, it's unreal. But and the environment too, because it's all at like, for the most part, it's generally like high level athletes, like different.
It seems like it's like all Olympians.
There's a lot of Olympians that come.
That's so cool.
A lot of just like big names, like whether it's like influencers, like on like YouTube or social media, or like just other divisions, like in fitness, whether it's like CrossFitters or powerlift, like. It's just like everyone who's serious about training and loves to train, it's there. And like that, you can't beat an environment like that because like you're being pushed constantly. Like it's just, that's amazing. Awesome. So yeah, I wish I lived closer.
I want to do the Toronto Pro one year just because like that would be cool, like train there and like see that gym. And I've never been to Canada, so.
Oh my gosh, you have to let me know if you do, because
I will definitely.
Like, you'll have to like get a workout in or something. But and it's nice too. They always like this weekend, because they had the pro qualifier. It's free for pros all weekend, and then like amateur athletes, it's free today. And they'll do that. They've done that the last 2 times for the Toronto Pro as well. So during that whole weekend, that I think it's like the whole week's. I don't want to say that, but. It might even be the whole week, like pros get free access leading up to the Toronto Pro, which is also
that's
cool.
really good. Yeah, that's really cool.
So
you probably see all the competitors there, like socialize. It's awesome.
So it's all around a great environment, like great, like meet people like we're like-minded and whatnot. So yeah, it's definitely, and again, like I wish I lived closer, like, but I'm like driving the 30 minutes like there and back. I'm like, that's my max right now. Like
Yeah.
maybe when I'm like off school or whatever, like that's like weekends sometimes, like I'll try and go out like once a week.
Okay.
Just because it is so beneficial. Like the training sessions are wicked, but yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Canada's got a lot of great bodybuilders now, so that's
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah, I think I saw a statistic that actually Simon, he's a photographer for Muscle Insider. I think he posted on Facebook. I can't remember the exact number, but it was like I think it was 32 maybe Canadian athletes qualified to the O this year.
Wow.
Which is pretty cool. I think it's the most amount of Canadians that have ever qualified in a year. And we still have shows. Like I'm hoping Emily like can get a qualification too. And so we'll see. But it's pretty cool to see like this year is like the most Canadians that have qualified to the O. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Lots of prospects for Northern Muscle.
Yes.
Gotta get Tyler on. I haven't seen him. I haven't had him on in weeks.
No?
Yeah, it's been a real bummer. He's so busy.
Oh,
So busy.
for sure. Well, yeah, he had some athletes. I saw him at the show yesterday. He had a few athletes competing, and I know
Yep.
they did amazing. But yeah.
Did you say you needed to hop out, or we still have more time?
I can do like 10 more minutes.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I could do that too.
Okay, deal.
Definitely.
We were talking about recovery, so I thought this would be a good transition. We talked briefly about how important sleep is. We kind of touched on, 8 hours is kind of a good a good standard. When we're talking about rest day, sleep, and even maybe deloading, what are your guys' experiences and what are your guys' thoughts on those three?
For me, well, like obviously sleep, yes. I notice a significant change if like I have multiple days in a row where I'm not getting enough hours of sleep.
Mhm.
Just like mentally. Besides that, rest days are also very important. That's when you grow, and I don't know about you, Lauren, but like that's hard for me sometimes, especially in prep.
Yes.
You want to just do like more, like you think like more is better, but really less is more sometimes.
Yep.
So like right now, like I'm trying to do like one full day, like completely off the gym. Like that's my goal, is just like one full day, and like active recovery, like go for like a walk, whatnot. But yeah, I want to do one full day because the last few shows, like I would do like 5 days a week of weights, but the other 2 days I would still go in and do like a hard routine practice. So now I'm kind of just like, maybe I'll just do one hard routine practice a week, and like I'll throw in some skills again, like after like a weight training session or something, but taking like that one full day rest. And yeah, like even just like like go for a walk and stretch, like adding in more stretching. I've been doing, especially leading up to this last show, like more Epsom salt baths. Just times where like I'm literally just like slowing down, because I'm too like, for myself, like I'm like go, and I have a hard time just like, and we're not meant to be go, and I think a lot of us athletes are like that. We like thrive off of like that like stress, but like our bodies aren't meant to be in like a constant like fight or flight mode all the time. You need to kind of like calm your nervous system and like let your body just like chill out almost. So whether, yeah, like meditation is something I think is great, something I need to do more of too, or just even breathing. Like I'll try like before bed or even like first thing in the morning, like I'll set my Apple Watch on like the breathe like thing and do like 3 minutes of just like sitting there and just like breathing, like just to like slow down, especially end of night. Yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I should be taking more rest days probably. Like going to contest prep, I find myself, I'm in a gym like every single day pretty much.
Yeah.
Unless my coach like specifically writes, okay, you look exhausted, take a full day off the gym. Because also I lose a lot of intensity during prep. I know some people really keep the intensity. I start definitely taking out some volume in my training. So I go like higher frequency and just like less volume. Because I can't withstand like a 2-hour leg session anymore. So I'm like, okay, let me do a little fluff leg on Saturday too, and I'll just do a little bit of legs today. So I don't know if this is the right thing to do, but my training sessions become easier but more frequent maybe.
Okay. That's the thing too, is like everybody's different and everybody's
Right.
body like responds to things differently. Like some people need more rest than other people. Like some people don't recover quickly, and like maybe you need to train like 3 days on, 1 day off, or like
Yeah.
shorter. Like sometimes like I'll notice the same thing like leading up to a show. Sometimes I need to cut back on the volume and just like do like maybe a little bit more of an intense workout, but like a 45-minute hard intense like training
Yeah,
session and done. Not
definitely.
where I'm like in the gym for like 2 hours doing weights and like you're just exhausted. Like your body's just
And you're like mentally exhausted. I'm like, I have to do like 6 sets on this leg press. Oh, like I can't do that.
6 working sets.
Of course, all to failure.
so yeah, it's like strategically like training as hard as you can, but while still optimizing the best recovery for your body. So it's like being strategic with the recovery and the training, because that's the thing is like if your body's not recovering and you keep hammering like 2-hour sessions, your physique's not going to respond well. It's going to hate you. Like you're just
and your joints are gonna hurt real bad.
exactly. So
It's a fine balance, and I feel like every time, like every prep and every off season, I'm refining that balance and like kind of tweaking things where I see fit. So it's kind of like always evolving, I feel.
Yes, I agree.
That was a good point to splitting up these cats are super. My wife's been out of town for a few weeks and they just do not leave me alone anymore.
Oh,
I'm jealous. My cats are far away from me right now.
I saw one.
With me.
Yeah, I saw a black one right when we started. I was like, oh, a cat.
Yeah, got three black cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, none of mine are black. I wish I had a ginger cat. Honestly, I have little Totoro here who's kind of like gray and white, and his dad is the same but a little darker, kind of like mixed. And then the other one's like pure white with a couple dots. I always thought like a ginger cat would be fun, but
Garfield vibe.
Yeah. At this point, right? But at this point, like I would love a dog someday, but I don't even want to think about it. But so intensity and splitting it up. I like how Loren was talking about how 2-hour leg sessions aren't really a vibe anymore. Like it's just not it. I don't enjoy it. My blood sugar just drops after an hour. Especially when you start doing those like heavy like those like spinal loading movements where you have the bar on your neck. All that spinal decompression or the spinal compression just absolutely just taxes you. So
your central nervous system's like fried, like after some heavy sets of that.
So I liked what you were saying about like maybe break it up. Do a big thing right now is splitting up your leg training into quad dominant and hamstring dominant. So if you can
I do that,
if you can incorporate that with also not destroying your body with 2-hour workouts, I think that'd help a lot too. Dude, you are absolutely killing me right now. He's just pushing the mic. He's typing in my notes.
You're gonna start clawing your new phone.
They have not done that yet. I would
That's good.
Cry.
My cats would be all over that.
One of these days I'm gonna see one just sitting up there all the way near the ceiling. They could probably touch the ceiling. It's that tall. Yeah, and then it's just gonna be
boy.
But God, that's important. Splitting up those leg trainings, because especially if you have like a week part, like I think a lot of people, especially athletes, I think a lot of my audience is younger gentlemen or individuals, and that's like such a huge thing with sports is people are tearing the hamstring because they're over focusing on the squat and not so much developing the hamstrings to support those big movements to include the sprints. So having a well-balanced routine, going back to what we talked about with like having a good coach, having a good program, having goals, it all comes together into having a well-rounded entry, standard foundation.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, ladies. Loren, Axe and Sledge.
Yes,
What do you
indeed.
got?
That's about it. Axe
You're like, that's a
Sledge.
great question. What do I?
Yeah. I'm actually now with Flag Nor Fail,
Yep.
the clothing company.
Oh, that's awesome.
Love
Yeah,
them.
so I'm excited. I just like got in touch with them a couple weeks ago, so that should be exciting. Big Dana Lynn Bailey fan when I started out, so
Mhm.
Yeah, me too. She was one of my favorites from like the start. Oh,
yeah, she was so badass. So still
yeah,
is, still is.
still is like holy, but
Yeah.
that's amazing.
I don't know why I can't find your account for some reason.
Me? Oh
Yeah,
no. Hope I'm
I
not
type
shadow
it in
banned.
and I type it in and it's nothing. I gotta like go through my messages. Weird. Yeah,
LOREN?
yeah. I don't know.
Huh.
Oh, so your Zoom is spelled Lauren.
Oh, yeah, that's my actual name. Yeah, I,
Oh,
I put it with an O, so no one could like employers couldn't find this kind of like bodybuilding stuff.
oh, smart. Okay.
So my LinkedIn's different, but all my coworkers found my shit. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's hilarious. I was gonna say
yeah,
that's such a cool, unique way of spelling
I
Lauren.
prefer it. I think it's better with the O. Yeah,
Unique.
Lauren.
I was gonna call like say that. I didn't even realize like I didn't even see your name on the Zoom, but that's funny.
yeah. Everyone thinks like people DM me thinking I'm like from Italy because like I guess LOREN is
Oh,
Italian, and my last name is very Italian. So people always like writing me in Italian. I'm like, I don't know what you're saying, but see.
See.
that's hilarious.
Mhm.
Oh boy.
Mm. Well, cool. So Flag North, did you just reach out to them or was it kind of like
Um,
mutual?
I think they reached out to me. Um,
That's awesome.
like they reached out to me, I think a month or so ago, and they sent over some stuff to try, and then we've been like kind of back and forth. I think they said they're gonna put up an announcement soon. So
Oh,
yeah,
Heck
awesome.
yeah.
their stuff is awesome. They sent me a lot of stuff to try, and it is just quite nice.
Well, good. We're happy
Nice.
for you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. And Abby with what's it called? Performix.
BioX Performance Nutrition
Yep.
or Nutrition Performance.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Bolton 15 at checkout.
you got it.
Save some money and support your favorite fitness Olympian. Devotee Wear, Bolton 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
both awesome companies.
yeah.
They're so supportive of me, which is amazing too. So yeah, I'm lucky to be with both of them.
Hmm. Yeah, they seem really awesome. I'm trying to see what kind of collab I can do with them because I want to do a BNN shirt with them. So
Nice.
so we've been
Oh,
talking for a while, so that hopefully
Oh,
will come out.
good.
I should have
Uh,
worn my BNN shirt. I was just wearing it the
Yeah.
other day.
oh, I love it.
It's
Yeah.
nice. It has like the globe thing. Very
Hmm.
nice.
I love
Very
that
nice.
one. I'm ordering oh, Abby, I'll have to hook you up too. I'm gonna
All right.
send Lauren out a care package. The website that I use for all my bulk merch,
Yeah.
bodybuildingnews.net for everyone. If you guys want to check out the
Oh, yeah.
merch and support the channel, you can. Um, what I'm doing now is I still make a lot of stuff in house with my heat press and my vinyl cutter and stuff.
Nice.
But I found another company that will pre-print the screen press ink because it's so much better quality. The lifespan of the material or of the ink, it lasts a lot longer compared to vinyl or traditional vinyl. So what I'm doing is I'm ordering the designs that are on the website through that company. I think it's called FM Expressions, so that I can just press the shirts myself on the garments that I want. Because I think I've talked with both of you. Like I've spent a lot of money trying on different t-shirts and hoodies to see like what I really really like. Uh, and if I like it, I'm assuming most people are going to like it. You know, I like that really higher quality stuff. I'm okay with spending just a little bit more for that really really nice quality t-shirt, especially like the ones you're going to wear all day, the overshirts and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So what I'm doing is I ordered a bunch of cool stuff and then also some like stuff I haven't released yet. So you know, if you want, I definitely I can order a few more samples and once I press them, I'll send them out. But
Oh, sweet.
working on the women's line specifically because I have no experience with that. So that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that challenge. But yeah,
that'd be exciting.
Yeah, so that's coming. Hopefully, the next couple of weeks, I'll send that out.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome.
Besides that, not too much for me. Like, comment, subscribe is the biggest thing you can do for this channel. Definitely support Abby and Loren as they take time out of their precious days of studying and Sundays. Sundays
I'm
are
doing
rest
nothing.
days.
So
Yeah, you're like,
Go
I'm
on the
good.
gym.
Yeah, I need to do the gym as well today. So I don't game too much like online video games, but there is a veteran organization I found. It's called Scars of War, and it's kind of like just like veteran gamers. And they actually want to have me on in a few hours to do Twitch is
okay.
is a thing. So I'm doing an hour block on their Twitch where it's just talking. It's gonna be like a Q&A style for fitness.
Oh, interesting.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so that's gonna be a very new thing for me. And this is exactly what I'm gonna talk about. It's like basic fitness information. So I'm hoping people ask questions that we just talked about because that'd be cool. Otherwise, I can just give them my experience and my thoughts on things.
Exciting.
Yeah, so that'll be fun too. So hopefully, I don't even know if I want to like promote that on the channel because it's just completely something different. But I might put something in the community tab just so people, if they want to watch it, they can.
Well,
Nice.
Yeah. Well, all right, ladies. Anything else? Good to go.
I think that's
awesome.
yeah.
Both of you.
Cool.
Yeah, it's been nice finally, I guess, meeting you virtually.
I know, yeah. Virtually meeting finally.
Yes.
That's
Well, if I ever come to Toronto, I'm hitting you up. We gotta get a workout in.
Yes, definitely.
And then I think we'll aim for either next week or the week after. I got to check to see what Wendy's schedule is, but we're gonna try getting Wendy Fortino is her last name.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think she's gonna come on next. So another Olympian.
Yeah.
That'd be fun. She seems pretty chill.
Yeah, her physique is awesome too.
Yeah.
That also helps.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, ladies. Have a good day. Take care. Eat your chicken and rice or whatever, and then we'll talk soon.
You too. Take care.
All right, guys. Thanks for watching. See ya.
Thanks. Bye.